What's up guys, Pawinning here. Today we're going to be working on my 318 Ti, which I disassembled in the last video. Have you filmed this or not?
Yes.
Oh, which I disassembled in the last video, as you can see right there. That's not, yeah. Anyway, so today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going under the car for the first time and checking it out down there and just making sure everything's okay, and then we're going to pull the motor. So, excited. Here we go. Roll the intro.
So if you guys weren't here for the last video, I pretty much disassembled everything on the top end. All the wiring should be disassembled. So my plan is to pull the motor and transmission out in one piece with the wiring harness as well. But I mean, for now, we just have to just check underneath the car just to see how much I'm going to have to take apart there, because it's an automatic transmission. I've never worked with an automatic transmission before. Plus, I haven't even seen the underside of this car, so it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, the real Pawinning already said that.
Oh. So I see the stock exhaust, full 2 inches. Definitely gonna need safety goggles, definitely gonna need gloves. That transmission pan has seen better days. I don't know how much you guys can see over here, but from the looks of it, all I really have to do is take out this cross member underneath. Then I'll undo the transmission mount point so I can just pull the cross member off. There's a little bit of wiring on the side, which I think is associated with the reverse light and probably the gear selections for the cluster on the dash. But then other than that, there's also this gibo that's on the drive shaft that looks like it's pretty straightforward to take off. You can just put a wrench on one end and then wrench on the other end, and then yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward stuff. Yeah, this is the second time where you like show me good with like rotation thing.
Yeah, the last time was on my channel though.
Yeah, and I was going like, what would you call? Yeah, this is definitely just like, what is this?
Comment below if you know what that thing is.
It's probably some sort of thing to help reduce vibration.
Dude, I think someone left their hockey puck in your car. Oh, that's safe. Money?
Pretty good, actually.
What we doing?
So now we're going to take apart the motor mounts. So there's only 2. So the motor is held physically by the transmission, which is mounted to 2 mounting points on the cross member, and the motor is physically held in by 2 bolts on the front subframe and sandwiched on top of an engine mount. So you really only have to undo the top bolts, and then the entire motor is free and only resting on the chassis by gravity. Hopefully after we get both sides undone, we can kind of figure out, because it's hard to see on the transmission what's connected still. But since like I don't really care about the stuff really breaking, like we're just gonna yank on the motor and see what's caught, and then just snip snip. At this point, I'm just like, I just want this motor out.
I got one thing to say to you.
What?
Gravity is working against me.
We got some sauce in the battery. We're back.
Ready?
Hey. Bada bing, bada boom, as they say. All right, let's get the other one done. Oh, there we go. It is looking back. One click at a time. Why can't we not? Why can't we...
Eli lives his life 1 click at a time.
Yeah, I live my life 1 click at a time. 1/4 click at a time. We need an electric socket. You know what I'm saying? Somebody send one. Sponsor us, please.
Send it to 397 Lowell Street, Rice Cube Kitchen, please.
Back to working in the engine bay here. Here in my garage full of knowledge. You know what's more important than knowledge? 1 click at a time.
Alright, the day has come. Time to pull this motor out. We got the engine hoist hooked up to the seatbelt that's wrapped around the intake manifold around the front, and then through an exhaust manifold on the side of the 4-cylinder motor. What was that?
So, in the Pawinning history lesson, as Pawinning said, this seatbelt pulled the original junkyard motor out of the junkyard into the bed of Anthony's truck. Then, this seatbelt pulled the motor out of Pawining's car, the good well, hang on.
The original motor.
Yeah. this seatbelt pulled the original motor out of Pawin's car, put the new junkyard motor in Pawin's car, and now it's pulling this one out of this car. I think we're just gonna keep using it until it breaks, right?
Yeah, I mean, we already just tore it on the little thing right here, but it's holding.
Yeah, so no feet under this.
Ooh, what's up?
Is it? Should we pull on this or pull on the motor?
Now that we got the engine loosened up, essentially what's left is the shifter linkage that goes to the automatic shifter. As you guys look above in the, I mean, you guys can't see this right now, but essentially manual stops are pretty easy in these cars because the frame is still set up for manual transmission. It's just that what's different is the entire automatic transmission system is linked on top of the firewall on the interior instead of underneath like a manual transmission would. That being said, this is a big bulkier transmission, so I feel like pulling the entire motor out is going to be pretty interesting. So in addition to undoing the bolt that releases the shifter linkage to the inside of the transmission, there's also a bracket that holds the cable. Oxygen sensor is free. Rear backup sensor is free. Doesn't look like there's anything else attached to it. Yeah, it's pretty free. So now we got to jack the motor up a little bit because the oil pan's hitting the front subframe. But other than that, it should be pretty good.
And we can't drop the front subframe, right?
What's that?
You can't drop that.
We
That's
can,
not easy.
but like, there's no point.
Okay.
Right now, at least. One last ground cable right there. And then, can't see it, but there's some power steering lines attached to the steering rack. Alright, so we basically undid the seatbelt and tied it further back on the manifold, on the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold, so that when we pull it upwards, the balance is like a little bit better, because right now the oil pan's hitting the front subframe.
We took so long to take the motor out that Pawin's camera died. We're on our second battery now. Is that everything? Yes. You sure?
Yes, 100% sure. Jack it up.
Waiting for the wait. Yeah, and the tip of the exhaust is going into the oh, now it's not. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, what are these stuff good?
Still more wiring. These fuses, ground cable, and what else I took apart? The brake line sensor. Wunderbar.
Is that everything?
Almost.
Oh, what's coolant in my phone? Alright, take 5,000.
Alright, outro time. Alright. Thanks to Eli for helping out. The motor is totally out now. It's just resting down on the floor right there. Check out this bare engine bay now. It's got a lot of work left to do, but essentially, hopefully, I'll clear more stuff out of the way so I can begin working on the firewall area.
Dude, I can't wait for this to have an LS in it. It's gonna be sick.
So if you guys like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And of course, you're welcome to leave comments below of any like recommendations or advice you'd want to give me. Other than that, thanks for sticking around, guys, and have a good night. Bye. Alright, check out my new motor, guys.
Oh, hi.